Is there a luggage weight limit on a cruise? How much luggage can you take onto a cruise? And do they weigh your cases? Well, they're very important questions, and very much depends on this: whether or not you're flying to join or leave your cruise ship. Well, if you're flying, you'll have to abide by the weight limit imposed by the airline, and how many items of luggage they limit you to as well. And that can vary from airline to airline, but typically it's 20 kilograms or 23 kilograms for a suitcase, and some long distance flights will even allow a massive 30 kilograms. But you'll need to check what the weight allowance is for your flight, and it should be with your flight details. So, how many cases can you have when you're flying? Well, an airline will usually allow one case per person, plus a carry-on bag or cabin case. A typical weight allowance for carry-on luggage is 5 kilograms, but it can be 7.5 kilograms or even 10. Again, it varies from airline to airline. But if you aren't flying as part of your cruise, the weight limits are much more generous and sometimes limitless. Yes, some cruise lines will allow you to take as much baggage as you like, but they might insist that each suitcase is a manageable weight though. After all, they don't want any of the staff suffering an injury as they try to carry your 50 kilogram case. So what's an acceptable weight? Well, that's usually going to be around the 23 kilogram weight per item. But you'll need to check your cruise company's weight limits before you turn up with all your luggage. So, can I take 20 cases on my cruise, David? Well, if you're sailing with a cruise company that allows 20 cases, yes. But here's why you wouldn't want to do that. Where will you store all those empty suitcases in your cabin? And indeed, where will you be able to hang all those clothes that you've unpacked? Well, don't worry about washing clothes and wearing them again, because cruise ships have launderettes, which are usually free to use. You just need to bring some washing powder or tablets with you, or buy it on board the ship. And yes, they do have irons, so you won't need to bring your own. And most cruise companies don't allow you to bring an iron anyway. So let's summarise it in 3 sentences. What's the cruise luggage weight limit? 1. You can usually take as much luggage as you like, but check with your cruise company. 2. The weight of individual cases is often limited for safety reasons whilst handling them. And 3. If you're flying, you're limited by the airline's weight and quantity limit. So it's probably one case and one item of hand luggage. Well, here's the luggage weight worry-free solution. A few years ago, we bought one of those electronic luggage scales. It hooks onto the handle of your suitcase, and you lift the suitcase with the scale, and it gives you an instant reading of the weight. And the scale weighs little enough to be able to pop it inside your case for when you pack for the flight home. You know, for that moment when you suddenly realise that you need to transfer some of those souvenirs into your hand luggage. I know what it's like. You know, when you're packing, you start off with a nice list, then in goes the camera and the iPad and the laptop and the chargers, of course, and then a few books and bottles of sun protection. Oh, and all those shoes. And pretty soon your case is well over the 23 kilogram limit. It's a fine balancing act to get it right. You put more stuff in, you take other stuff out. But in the end, it's well worth getting it right, so that you can arrive comfortably at the cruise ship, head straight to the pool and relax with that book and glass of gin and tonic. Happy packing. bye.